Wild 'N Out is a celebrity improv comedy show invented and hosted by the one and only Nick Cannon. The show involves a series of games and challenges, most of which are centered around hip hop and played by two teams. One team is usually led by the host himself, Nick Cannon, while the other is led by another celebrity. Many A-list celebrities have been invited to the show, including Kanye West, Zendaya, cancer rapper Snoop Dogg. Both teams compete in a number of games, including a freestyle rap battle, and the winning team gets to take home a pretty cool championship belt. However, while the games are fun to watch, there have been moments when things got a little out of control. In this video, we'll be talking about some of those pretty insane moments on Wild 'N Out. First up, we'll be talking about Azealia Banks. It's common knowledge that during a rap battle, some punches are thrown below the belt, from highly inappropriate comments to the lowest insults possible. Therefore, whoever is registered to take part in a rap battle is expected to anticipate the moment and develop a thick skin to roast or not participate in the event altogether. However, it seemed like the rapper Azealia Banks missed that memo. Participants of the rap battle are allowed to say pretty much anything, and while this is what the audience loves about the show, Azealia Banks was not very fond of the style. The rapper appeared on the show back in 2018, but she had no idea what she was getting herself into. Just as a warm-up, Nick Cannon's team started things off by making comments about her color.
My boy Nick Cannon is so petty. He couldn't get Carter B, so he got Azealia ugly ass.
Azealia, who is known for expressing her opinions, found this offensive and called out the members of the opposing team for that.
Sorry, can I just say that was very anti-black. I didn't think that was funny.
After speaking on the show, the rapper took to Instagram and stated that she felt ambushed with a pre-planned joke and wasn't having any of it. She stated that in the future, it would be best if both teams set up ground rules and boundaries that the other team should not cross. That kind of takes the fun out of the rap battle, don't you think? Justina versus Blac Chyna. Another famous insane moment on Wild 'N Out was when Blac Chyna visited the show in 2020. The vibe of the show was going great until it suddenly became very awkward, especially during the rap battle when a rapper from the other team, Justina Valentine, took cheap shots at Blac Chyna. She said a couple of things that made the audience gasp, and it was obvious that Chyna didn't think it was that fun.
Hey yo, Chyna, you ain't beat for this battling. You went and bagged the least famous Kardashian.
Referring to her failed relationship with Rob Kardashian, the younger brother of the Kardashian sisters and father of her daughter. As if that wasn't enough, Justina continued with
all that plastic, who's gonna smash? Your body recyclable, but your career is trash.
The audience was in shock, and you could tell from the look on Chyna's face that she didn't appreciate being roasted like that. Ultimately, Chyna's team was declared the winner, and although she hated the jokes and jabs, she took it like a champ, or a queen, as Cannon had called her earlier. Honestly, as bad as the roast was, it was almost like Justina went easy on Chyna, because there was plenty of other things she could have said if she was going for the jugular. But she didn't, and it was still pretty awkward. Nick Cannon and Blac Chyna. This was yet another diss moment that Chyna was forced to endure on TV. This one was a face-off between Chyna and Nick himself. And the TV host started off by pointing out that Chyna's ex, Tyga, was dating a minor, referring to Kylie Jenner, who was 16 years old at the time.
Your last baby daddy, he was with a minor.
He went on to say that he wasn't going to diss Chyna any further because he was trying to spend one night in China.
So I ain't gonna say nothing bad about you because I just want to spend one night in China.
A lot of audience members thought this was disrespectful, but as for Chyna, the night got worse as she suffered more dissing. Most of them aimed at her previous relationships. It was obvious that she was done with the night and she'll probably never visit the show again. DC, Young Fly, and Nick Cannon. This particular freestyle rap battle was titled TV Host, and things escalated very quickly. The heat between the two men was so intense, they had to be separated. It started out with the momentum on Nick's side when he shaded DC for being an amateur host.
We get it poppin', don't know that, I'ma take your line. Where the West Side?
It seemed like Nick had the upper hand until DC brought up America's Got Talent.
Okay, what happened? What happened to America's Got Talent?
What about it, you might ask? Nick Cannon was a host of America's Got Talent until in 2017, after a very public fallout between him and NBC. Although he says he wasn't, everyone thinks Nick was fired from the show. He claims to have left after NBC threatened to terminate his contract because he disparaged their brand. Whatever the case was, seeing DC use a topic as sensitive as that to roast Nick Cannon was fun to watch, but Nick's comeback was even more interesting.
I didn't get fired, I quit that hit that rip that I get that off the top of the, you know I spit that.
You could tell he was riled up, and people from both teams had to step in to break the tension between the two hosts. And it seemed like things could have gotten out of hand if they hadn't intervened. Shaquille O'Neal and Nick Cannon. Another insane moment we witnessed on the show was when former basketball star Shaquille O'Neal went head to head against Nick Cannon in a freestyle rap challenge. Shaq did better than expected, proving that if he continued to pursue a career in rap, he could give all our favorite rappers a run for their money. Throughout the challenge, he took his roast like a champ and returned the favor. However, there was one moment where he may have gone too far. During the freestyle, Nick called Shaq a gay giant.
And you claim you like chicks, man, dog, you lying. Everybody give it up for the jolly gay giant.
The former basketball player clapped back, saying Nick wasn't the only one who was making Mariah Carey hit them high notes.
Jolly gay, I like that quote. You wasn't the only one making Mariah hit them high notes.
It was funny to both the audience and the cast members in the moment. But you know who didn't find it funny? That's right, Mariah Carey. At the time the episode aired, Mariah and Nick, who had problems for a while, were finalizing their divorce. When it did air, Mariah had Shaq apologize for what she thought was a bad joke.
He had to apologize to Mariah after that.
Regardless, he won the championship belt and enjoyed the look of defeat on Nick Cannon's face. An apology was a small price to pay. DJ Dwreck. Another wild moment on the show was when practically everyone on the show ambushed DJ Dwreck. The DJ who was responsible for the beat and settling of the vibe on the show was dragged onto stage in one episode to play a game of Pie or Die. In this game, the participants are given a word and expected to make a dope lyric out of it. Dwreck reluctantly agreed, and once he was out, he realized he'd been set up. Before long, he messed up the lyrics and everyone surrounding him slammed his head with a giant bowl of pie.
I'm on the stage, it's a celebration.
Okay.
All y'all need,
It was a fun moment for everyone except DJ Dwreck. Surprise visit. Back in 2013, during a game of Let Me Holla, Nick Cannon almost got into trouble when his then wife Mariah Carey made a surprise appearance on the show. The game was a flirting game that tested the riz of male participants to see who still had game. Those who were able to pull the attention of the female interests got a belt, while those who came up with whack lines got a buzz. When it was Nick's turn to woo, he started the conversation with "Hey baby girl."
What's happening, baby girl?
When Mariah Carey walked in, you could tell that no one was anticipating her arrival and everyone went crazy, especially the audience. Nick had to go on a commercial break to resolve things with his wife backstage after the game was shut down.
We'll be right back with more.
Although it was a joke, it was one of the most interesting moments in the history of Wild 'N Out. Amber Rose and Nick Cannon. As I've mentioned earlier, no topic is off limits in a game of freestyle rap on Wild 'N Out. And it's no doubt that the best way to diss an opponent is to come for their personal life. Unfortunately for him, being the host of the show did not spare Nick from being dragged into his personal life, especially his relationship with Mariah Carey. However, the model may have pushed the button in a battle between him and Amber Rose. Nick started by making fun of her bald head.
We all know Wiz gets the munchies every time his eyes chinky. Only reason that he with you cause your head look like a Twinkie.
And Amber retorted,
I'm on this show doing you a favor, just like Mariah, she's your career saver.
This insult was fun for everyone else except Nick, but Amber didn't care. After all, she won the championship belt, which was all that mattered. Conceited and Justina. Sometimes the roast is done between two members of the show, not celebrity guests. Conceited and Justina are two of the best in-house freestyle rappers, and in an episode where they were pitched against each other, Conceited took things a little too far, and Justina didn't appreciate being disrespected the way she was. Sexual jokes are often made on the show, but Conceited talking about turning Justina's mouth into a daycare the night before was pretty inappropriate.
last night in my room, I told you stay there. I put so much kids in your grill, turn your mouth to a daycare.
It wasn't until later, when they were both watching a clip of the battle, that Justina mentioned that she thought the diss was inappropriate and disrespectful.
That was so disrespectful. That was one of your best lines to me ever, I think.
Turns out we weren't the only ones wondering what he was thinking when he dropped that line.
What was going through your mind when you said that? Were you just picturing me with someone's all over my face? Like, you're a sick to that.
Chico Bean and Michael Rainey Jr. The rap battle between Chico Bean and Michael Rainey Jr., who plays Tariq on the American series Power, was one of the most intense battles on Wild 'N Out. Chico started by dissing Michael's Asian teammate with a racist joke, but he clapped back.
What I'm about to say to you, I'm not playing. How you gonna dish your real daddy and start hanging with Kanye?
And everything was fine until the two team leaders were having a face-off. Chico called Michael, aka Tariq, the second most hated person in the neighborhood, while poking him with his finger.
It's true. The most hated people in the hood is Donald Trump and then you.
When Michael clapped back, he poked Chico, which was fine because he started it.
You say you're a street, but that's not the factor. I'm in the streets more than you.
I'm just an actor.
However, for some reason, Chico had a problem with it and told his opponent that he would knock his ass out if he touched him again.
This is a show, and I could be your friend, but I'm gonna knock your ass out if you touch me again.
The two men had to be separated before things got out of control. Thanks for watching the video. Hit us up in the comment section and give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content.